statement?
Not many times you end the season and you kind of feel good about it, but that's truly the way I feel right now. You know, this is a group of guys that overcame a lot during the year. You know, a lot of ups and downs, a lot of adversity both on and off the field, and then today in an elimination game, you get down 5-0 and find a way to battle back, tie it up, get down again, fight back, and get within a swing of winning a game in the ninth. Really can't be prouder of what these guys accomplished, not just this season, but today in particular. So, you know, I don't know if there's a great way to go out on a loss, but this is as close as it comes.
Questions?
Casey, what does it say about your club to get behind by 5 and continue to battle?
You know, man, I think it says a ton. You know, obviously a tough loss last night. You know, we didn't score, but you know, I thought we were in that ball game. It was a competitive game, and obviously a late night and a quick turnaround. And then to get down early, you know, I mean, as I'm sitting there, and I'm pretty pessimistic in general. So, you know, I'm looking at it like, oh crap, here we go. And you know, and Josh came in and righted the ship, and the next thing you know, we get a couple big swings and back in it, and just the confidence, the resiliency that these guys had playing, you know, what truly are 3 historic programs, you know, and I think that's something as they look back on it, when we look at the opportunity we had to come here and the challenges that, you know, that these 3 teams brought, but at the same time, we got to play 3 historic programs and battled them to the end.
Their starter obviously had some struggles in the third, but came back and rebounded pretty well. What did you see out of him today?
You know, I tell you, you know, he kept at us. You know, I thought we didn't do a very good job of forcing him in the strike zone. You know, I thought we chased a lot, and sometimes that can be a poor approach, or sometimes that can be a guy executing. But I thought he competed well for him. You know, he's a guy that didn't have a lot of innings on the year. You know, I think a lot of short starts. So under the temperature and the pressure of elimination game, I think he really battled for him.
So what was different in the third inning? Was it something different for him or something different from y'all?
You know, I think some of it was some good fate. You know, there's a couple walks in there. You know, a couple balls. You know, Anthony hit the ball off the cement in front of the plate. You know, wish he would have done that another time or two, man. But you know, I think some of it was a little good fortune on our part. And again, you know, baseball is a game where you get the good breaks and you get the bad ones. You know, I thought we hit a couple balls really hard that they ran down in the outfield. So things seemed to even out.
Mississippi State brought in a couple of hard-throwing relievers late in the game. What was the approach? How did the approach change once those guys got in the game?
Well, most of the guys are just throwing fastballs, so we're just trying to jump a fastball, get a fastball, and hit a fastball in a good count, seeing pitches up.
Casey, you had success against Mississippi State in this regional years ago. Did you even bring that up to the team before today's game?
No, you know, we didn't. I mean, that's 2 completely different groups. So, no, we didn't talk about that. You know, today was, you know, really, as we talked this whole time, was just trying to control what we could control. And I think, you know, our struggles early the last 2 games is when we tried to do a little too much. You know, we had guys that, you know, that didn't back down from the situation, didn't back down from the atmosphere, but tried to do more than they could. And I think that got us in trouble early. And then, you know, both days we were kind of able to settle back down and get back to doing the things we've done all year. You know, we've thrown the ball great all season, but we got a little amped up, tried to do a little too much early and put us in some bad spots.
Hey, Casey, what do you think of their lineup, like top to bottom?
You know, I tell you, man, it's a bunch of young guys that are competitive hitters, you know, and several of them are Alabama kids that obviously, unfortunately, we knew coming in, not just their ability level, but, you know, when you look at, you know, Hunter Stovall's as tough as the kids there's around. Hunter Allen's a guy that's hit his whole life. You know, he played beside Brooks Carlson for us, kind of in that same area. So we had you know, we've seen those guys play a lot, and I think they've got some good young guys that are really competitive. And again, you know, we talk about the adversity we overcame all year. They did too. You know, they had their backs up against the wall and really had to fight and claw to even make their conference tournament, much less a regional. And I think it says a lot about the job Gary's done. Obviously took over a crazy situation that I don't know if anybody would ever be prepared for what he had to handle. But Mississippi State was so fortunate that he's on that staff. You know, I don't know how many guys could have held that together as well as he did and then get that group to play so well down the stretch.
Hey, Coach, what does this weekend do for the program? How does it help the future? How do the guys grow this weekend?
You know, Brad, I hope the biggest way this helps is if these young guys get back in a regional setting again, they've been here. You know, and some of the nerve, some of the energy, some of the try to do too much, so to speak, isn't there if we can get back here. You know, that was the negative 2012. We never were able to get back. That was such an older group. that left us that year. You know, we've got a lot of young guys in the program that I hope get this opportunity again and can use it from a confidence standpoint to get back. But from an overall program standpoint, obviously it's huge anytime from an exposure standpoint to play on national TV, to get the mentions on the social media and different things is big for us. But this program's been built by more than two teams. You know, I think the 12 team and this team obviously get a lot of recognition and a lot of credit for where our program is and where it's going to go. But there's a lot of guys in those early years where there wasn't as much success, there wasn't as much opportunity, there wasn't as much commitment to being good in baseball, that really are the ones that deserve this opportunity because they laid a great foundation for us. And several of those guys were in the bleachers, you know, guys that played here back in the 80s that I haven't seen since probably the press conference when I took the job 14 years ago. Were here this weekend, and just the excitement on an alumni's face and how proud they are of what this program's become gives me a lot of pride in terms of what we've been able to do.
Josh, you're one of the seniors on this team. I know it always stings for it to end, but can you kind of just reflect on what the season has meant to you and what it's been like to play in the regional?
It's been very special. When I came to Sanford, I knew that there would be a lot of opportunities academically and athletically, and I like to think that I chased after every opportunity that I could. And then this season, as a senior, as the guy that's contributed in the past, I knew that I needed to do more. I knew that I was capable of doing more and that this team was capable of a lot. Towards the beginning of the season, we had our struggles and a few minor injuries, things like that, but we knew that if we pressed on through that we were capable of a lot. And we had a lot of ups and downs this season. We had the 13-game win streak, which was awesome, which was followed by a 7-game losing streak. But we figured that if we ever got to the point where we were hitting and pitching at the same time, that we could really make a run at that thing, run at anything, a regional, conference tournament, whatever it may be. And when we ran through the conference tournament the way that we did, I knew that we were going to be hard to beat in a regional, and I think that we proved that this week. And I think that that it was really a special season, and I think that there were a lot of different pieces that go unnoticed to it, and there's a lot of pieces that do go unnoticed to it. But I think that all of them together was really special and was able to be a great team for us.
Any more questions? Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.